Good evening and welcome to our Testimonial Tuesday for Tuesday, November 1st, 2016. Wow, November's already here. Where has this year gone? My name is Vicki Drobnes and I'm a Ruby Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. And I'm super excited that you're tuning in, either watching this later or tuning in right now, because I have so much information to share with you from Leaders Retreat. Leaders Retreat was amazing. It was the best one I've been to yet. This is my third year going, and it is the best one. We had such a wonderful time, wonderful location, and I can't wait to share all about it with you. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that by sharing my screen. Let's see if I can find the button here. Share the screen and pull up my little PowerPoint because I wanted to share some pictures with y'all of what I saw. It was really, really cool. Okay, well, come back over here. Move my little thing here. There we go. All right, so just on the front here, this is the Gaylord Texan, and I've got some other pictures of this, but this was where we stayed. It was amazing. Whoops, there we go. All right, so this presentation is brought to you by independent Plexus ambassadors and is not sponsored by Plexus Worldwide. Any statements made have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Plexus products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Plexus makes no guarantees on income, as such representations may be misleading. Your success depends on your effort, commitment, skill, and leadership abilities and how effectively you exercise those qualities. Please see the Plexus Annual Income Disclosure Statement for more details. I'm having difficulty with my little thingy here as to where. Let's see if I can get my people's thing over here. We're just going to minimize that. So you may have to raise your hand if you want. We'll just talk at the end here. All right, so the people, okay, there were already over 2,200 ambassadors who qualified, and that's about 1% of the total ambassadors with Plexus Worldwide. So we had, this was at the beginning of our first group. This is with me and my diamond upline, Brenda Martin here in the middle, and my Ruby sister, Jana Starner, and then down below is with my gold friend and fellow plant-based buddy, Denise Foxworthy, and then down here is our the crowd at our Halloween party, which was amazing this year. We had a live band, and they were absolutely phenomenal. The place was at the Gaylord Texan in Grapevine, Texas, and I had never been to, it was just outside of Dallas, right near the Dallas airport, and I'd never been to Grapevine, but I fell in love with this little place. So this is us as we're driving up on that Thursday early afternoon. There's a lovely lake right in front that has these beautiful, this beautiful bridge that has this wonderful reflections. Again, a shot from the looking up at the Gaylord Texan. And then down here, our room was right above valet parking, and almost every single one of these cars was a Plexus Lexus. It was pretty cool to see. Like I said, it was in Grapevine, Texas. Love this little town. This little main street here reminded me so much of my main street in Dixon, Tennessee, where I live. And it was so cool. Lovely little restaurants, cute little shops, a farmer's market right on Main Street. Just loved it. This is the Grapevine Vintage Railroad. There were several of the old cars there. Looked like they moved around, but I'm not sure. But we weren't able to go take a ride on it. Beautiful old homes and businesses. And then the Gaylord is right on the Lake Grapevine. So we had a beautiful view. We were able to watch the airplanes come in to Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, as well as to watch the sailboats. There were lots of sailboats out there. As well. It was a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Got up in the mid-80s, close to 90. It's still summer in Texas. The first night we were there, we had a special private performance by comedian Brian Regan, and he is absolutely hilarious. If they say laughter is the best medicine, we got a full dose of it on Thursday night. Our sides were just hurting in our face. If you've ever had to smile a lot, that's what our faces felt like. He was hilarious, and my husband and I have loved his comedy for many years and would just absolutely fell in love with his performance. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the new things that are coming, and that's the wonderful thing about Leaders Retreat is we always find out all these new things. So one of the ones that I absolutely love with this thing called the Rank Up Roadmap. And this is a plan so that people are able to rank up very easily with Plexus. And I love that they have done this because what this, whoops, back up. Because what this does is this is going to be a training tool that will be in our back offices that will be able to help us rank up. It's going to be rank specific training from ambassador to diamond. There's going to be a pilot launch to test the functionality to make sure that everything for it functions right before they introduce it. And the introduction of the ambassador to silver and the silver to gold will be at Super Saturday. So this is another reason you want to be at Super Saturday. Super Saturday, talk about that a little bit near the end. And it's going to be rolled out in phases. So I am super excited about this because this is going to allow you to customize how fast you want to go. There'll be like a fast track, and then there'll be like a, taking your time. It's, gosh, it was so amazing. I'm so excited about this because this is really going to help people achieve their goals with Plexus, whatever those goals may be. So, for example, the Rank Up Roadmap is going to focus on when you are spending your time, where it is that you're spending your time. So there'll be 3 sections. There'll be business development, personal development, and leadership development. So business development is your IPA. That's your income producing activity. Personal development is growing yourself as a person. And then leadership development is helping your team grow, giving them the tools and the encouragement to help them grow their own teams. And so while you may think that, okay, those 3 things, I need to do 33% of those each day. And it's not exactly like that. And they gave us a little preview of it. So for example, from silver to gold, you're still growing your business. And this is something I've seen with those people on my team who may have gotten a little stuck at silver and they haven't gone anywhere, is that they have maybe kind of taken on maybe that third look at the way that they're growing their teams. And in this one, the example of silver, you still need to be spending 75% of your time in business development. In other words, your income producing activities, going out, talking to people, building your teams, growing new ambassadors. So that is where you need to spend the bulk of your time. So any of my silvers who are listening, or any silvers who are listening, take that to heart. And even before this training comes out, go ahead and be starting to do that. Personal development, yes, you do need to start doing some personal development, growing your strengths, being aware of your self-talk in your head. Those things you definitely need to be doing. And leadership development, as far as working with your teams, yes, you do need to be doing it, but the bulk of your business needs to be business development. So then, say going from Ruby to Jewel, which is like my position, Ruby going into Jewel, yes, I still need to be doing business development. I don't stop recruiting new people. I don't stop getting new customers. That's something that's part of my business development, but it may not be 75% of it. I am going to be working on 50% of my personal development, so that is something that I am growing myself as a person, so I am a stronger person and I'm a stronger leader. And then you're going to be doing your leadership development, which is also working with those people who want to grow a business. All right, I'm still hearing some sounds here, so if you would check and see if you can mute yourself, I would appreciate that. Okay, so Rank Up Roadmap, super excited about that. All right, coming soon, some new things. So we're going to have a new voice, and new visuals, new tools, and new packaging. And we didn't get all the details on these, but we did get some of those. So one of the things that has already been announced is the new triplex tools, and those are amazing. I've already been sharing those. Those are shareables that are in your back office, how to share the triplex, some product information sheets, and a digital brochure that is absolutely wonderful. I absolutely love this digital brochure because it goes through and tells compliantly what we can share about Plexus and then the triplex. And I see that this is going to be happening with all of our products, but we're of course working on those ones that are our best sellers so that we can be able to share that information compliantly. All right, what our goal is with this is to make life better for you and your customers. So some of the new upcoming tools are some consistent messaging, cutting edge, but yet familiar and accessible, and we're setting the bar for the industry. Now, I listened to a video from my sponsor, Charlotte Seams, today, and one of the things that she reminded us of is that Plexus is still a brand new company if you consider the length of times that, say, another network marketing company, say like Mary Kay or Amway or something like that, they've been around for a long, long time. So we're still pioneers. So some of the things that other companies may take for granted, we're just getting these things out, and that's exciting to be part of this at the very early levels when we're still not yet a household word. So it gives us even more opportunity to build a really strong business early on. New launches. Okay, so the triplex tools are available right now. Today, I have not seen it come out yet, but I'm sure it will be, our Sunny and Share blog. Okay, and I love this because this will be, again, a blog that you can share. You can share the blog post, and it will connect back up to your Plexus page. New mobile launch, also something that is coming out that said today, maybe coming out later on today. I know October, the closing out October, there was so much going on. The computers were having some issues because so many people were joining and ranking up. It was so exciting last night. But we will have this set so that you will be able to use one of these to shop Plexus as well as to join Plexus, and it will be so much easier. They showed us a little clip of it, and it's going to be so much easier and so much more user-friendly. Slim and block samples, those have been out of the back office for a while because they were changing them to have the new block, which is the one that you can take right before you eat a meal, not having to wait 30 minutes. So those will be available November 14th, and then there will be a triplex video that will be available on January 7th, which is Super Saturday. So there was an email, about all that went out on Thursday. This is all stuff from Thursday. Okay, Alec Clark wrapped up he's our president, and he wrapped up our day that day with saying a few things for us to remember. Whatever I can do, you can do. So know that we have diamonds that have paved the way for us. We've seen that it can be done. We've seen that it can be done fast, and we've seen that it can be done more slowly. But know that it can be done. Whatever your goal is with Plexus, you can achieve that. Okay, and have balance. Your family needs you. Now, you want to, as far as I was talking about, like that pie chart of showing you when, how much time you need to be devoted to your business. That's not your day. That's not your whole day. You have a family, you have other responsibilities, you may have another job. That you need to take that pie chart and apply it to the time that you put in Plexus. And that will be something that will be going along with the Rank Up Roadmap information. But just understand, have balance. These are the people that you're doing this for anyway. Make sure that you have balance, because your family, you don't want to be so devoted to Plexus, and we want you devoted to Plexus, but you don't want to be so much so that you come back to, once you reach your goal and you come back to your family and you find you don't have the same relationship with them. So we don't want that. And then finally, I love this that he says, it's appropriate, totally appropriate for November. If you are blessed, be a blessing. Make somebody else's life better. And that can be financially, that can be your time, that can be whatever. So definitely, if you are blessed, be a blessing. And moving on to Saturday. So that was all Thursday. Excuse me, not Saturday. This was moving on to, no, that was Friday. Excuse me. I'm sorry. That was Friday. Now we're on Saturday. So Saturday, we had the breast cancer walk. And as you can see, there was a sea of ambassadors. And I'm wearing my shirt that I had from going for the walk. I did not get to go for the walk. I had been fighting a cold over the past week, and doing a 5K probably would not have been the best choice of my time. I needed to get the rest, but I watched this sea of people walking through, and it was amazing. These were all Plexus people and spouses and family members walking for breast cancer, and it was an amazing thing to see, watching from my hotel room. Now, our speaker on Saturday, this was our keynote speaker, Carrie Wilkerson, the Barefoot Executive. And I'm going to spend a little bit more time on talking about what she was sharing, because it is so important, and she was so riveting. There were a couple of times whenever she didn't even have slides up, and we were still riveted to what she was talking about. But she is known as the Barefoot Executive, and she's one of these ones, she will tell it like it is. There are no words minced with her. So it's from a tough love standpoint. All right, so she talked about our DNA. And she first started talking about the DNA that's in our bodies. So this is something that you can't deny. You may look like one of your parents. You may have some physical characteristics of one of your parents, your hair color, eye color, face shape, whatever. So there's part of the DNA that you cannot deny. Okay? There is a part of the DNA that you can defy. So if you are, maybe everybody in your family has a tendency to gain weight. Yes, you can do things that you don't have to accept that as that's going to be your destiny. So there are things that you can defy. If it's a way that your family, nobody's ever done something spectacular. Nobody's ever, maybe somebody hasn't graduated high school, maybe somebody hasn't graduated college. That does not say that you can't do that. You can. And she said you don't need to default to that DNA. So for example, if there's a weight issue, my grandparents were big people. A lot of that was through lifestyle choices. And my dad died at an early age from some cardiac complications. I'm choosing to defy that. I'm not going to go down that road. I learned something from that. I don't have to go down the same road that my grandparents and my father did. So you don't need to default to it just because it's something that's always been done. You can make that change. So now she started talking about leadership DNA. And DNA is going to be, the DNA stands for several things. So the D is your destination. You've heard us talk about your why. Why are you in Plexus? What is it that you want to accomplish with Plexus? And this must be gut level. You must feel it and mean it on a gut level. It's nice to have money. Okay, it's nice to say, okay, I want to earn an extra $1,000 a month. Okay, yeah, that's really great. But what can that $1,000 a month do for you? Can it start a college fund for your kids? Can it pay for a new car that you need? Can it be doing some remodeling to your house? What can it do? What makes sure that something that is gut level, that you can feel it and you can mean it. Get clear on your destination. Write it out. Write it out. Describe it. Use adjectives and adverbs and make it so that if somebody can picture it. You know, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, it may take 1,000 words to get this picture, but you want to be able to see it and to feel it and just feel it down in that gut level. You are not a leader without a destination. You need to have a destination. Otherwise, you're not a leader, because you got to be able to lead your team. Hey, and they need a destination. So make sure you have a destination. If you haven't been successful in building a team, maybe it's because you don't have a destination of your own. So go ahead and get that destination, get that solidified. And if you don't have that, do that now. Make sure you get that done in the next 48 hours. I'm going to challenge you. Make sure you get that written out in the next 48 hours. Okay? And you have to agree on your destination with your shareholders. In other words, your family or the people that are directly impacted by what you do. And so that could be, if you're married, it's your spouse. If your kids are old enough, then, it's your kids. Find out what are some things. My husband and I had a conversation on the way home from Dallas. We were driving back, and I asked him this. We had a shareholder meeting. I mean, we're driving in the car at night, perfect time to do that. So we had a conversation, and I found out some things that I wasn't aware that he wanted to do. And so that helps me to be able to target my destination a little bit more so that I know how I can support him. So don't just assume what you think the other person needs. Talk with them and understand that while you do not want to devote all of your time to Plexus, like I've mentioned before, having that balance, but also maybe help the kids, if you've got kids who are old enough to help, maybe help them see, if you're really super busy, you're already working another job, that you have them say, hey kids, in order to do this to where we can reach our goal as a family, that we'll need to have, y'all going to have to take over some more chores, or you're going to have to do this, but this is going to benefit us in the long run. And let them pull together. The parents don't have to do this all the time. Teach your children how to do chores. Teach them how to be responsible citizens and responsible adults. Trust me, whenever they get old enough to move out on their own, you'll love it. As a mother of 2 children who have moved out on their own, I'm super proud of them and the people that they've become. All right, your N is your narrative. Hey, what is the story that's running around in your head? What are you telling yourself? This is your self-talk, and I've got videos on this. If you're tuning in and you don't know what self-talk is, I've got scroll through my Tuesday meetings videos, and I've got tons of stuff talking about this and what's going on in your head. What are you saying to your team and your customers? Are you saying, well, yeah, I know it's expensive, but then, they're going to think it's expensive. Or if you are complaining to your team about about other team members, hey, that's not good, because that sets the tone of this is going to be a complaining team, and nobody wants to be a part of that. So stop it. I'll talk about the complaining thing in a little bit. Okay. We choose our narrative. We have a choice in what we think. Whenever you're a baby, you don't have a choice of what's being done around you. You're an adult now. It's time to accept that, and we choose our narrative, and we choose where our life is going to be going. Okay? Stop shoulding all over yourself. This is words from Carrie. I love this. Saying, I should be doing this and I should be doing that. Well, stop it. Just do it. Just go out there and do it. I should be contacting 3 people a day. Well, then go do it. Just start doing that, so that you are, these things, if you keep telling yourself you should be doing something, these things weigh on you. They're just, it's extra weight, and it's procrastination, and that catches up with you to where you just feel exhausted, and you don't need that. Okay? Stop the blame and start owning it and your responsibilities. And I've realized I've done a lot of this stuff myself. And by me sharing this stuff with you, hey, y'all, I have done this myself. That's the reason I can be a little blunt with you. And that's what she said. She can be a little blunt with us too, because she's done this. So if you realize, like this past month, October was this double rank up month. While I could not have ranked back up because I had not lost my rank, which is good, I could I have gone for Senior Ruby a little bit more? Yeah, I could have. I didn't. I'm not going to say why I didn't. I'm not going to give some excuse, because that's just a cop-out. Something happened. I chose not to go for it, and I could have. But I didn't, so I own that, and I move forward. And now I'm going to go for my goals. Okay. And you're going to decide that you're going to do this. Wow. You're going to do this with or without them. This is where you're going to decide, if you've got team members who aren't doing anything, then, you decide you're going to do this with or without them. If they want to go along for the ride, that's wonderful. Go ahead and go for it. But if they decide, if you've got team members that feel like they don't feel very self-motivated, you can't want this more than they want it. Okay, and that's what I've done. That I've wanted this more than some of my team members wanted it, and it has to be them. This is not my job. My job is I encourage them and I'll help them, but I can't do it for them. So I'm going to do this with or without them, and that means go finding new people. There are still plenty of people. I talk to people every single day that do not know about Plexus. I talked to this guy, just a little aside, who was one of the bellmen at the Gaylord. It was the last day that everybody was headed out, and I was waiting on my husband to come pick me up with the car, and I'm standing there just chatting with him and just asking him about, his job and all like that. And so I asked him, I said, hey, has somebody shared Plexus with you? And he said, no. There were 2,200 ambassadors there this weekend, and nobody shared Plexus with him. Well, you can be sure that I did. And I gave him information, told him about it, and told him he'd be great at it because he works with people all the time. So who knows? But 2,200 people didn't share it with him. So I've decided I'm going to do this with or without him. So be that strong about it and decide that's what you want to go for. Carrie also talked about what we're going through is like a butterfly going through, being the starting out as a caterpillar and going through the cocoon and the chrysalis stage and then emerging as this beautiful butterfly. And this really spoke to me. I love butterflies, but this really spoke to me because the changes, I found this graphic, the changes you're experiencing are not always comfortable, but they're necessary for your continued growth. And she talked about the metamorphosis time in the part that you have to go through. So if you're going through a rough time and it feels like, oh my gosh, this is never going to get better, understand you're in that chrysalis part. You're in that cocoon, and this is part of it. And think about it. We don't know exactly how it happens, but all we know is this caterpillar turns into this goo. And not to sound gross, but so if any of you are eating, I'm sorry about that. But it turns into this goo that then becomes a butterfly. You know, you look at a butterfly and you look at a caterpillar, they don't look anything alike. Well, that can be what our life looks like. It can be that our life was not that great before, but we go through all this personal growth, and then it becomes like the butterfly, it becomes this amazing life. So we all have to go through this. Okay, some of us go through it before we find Plexus, some of us go through it during Plexus, and it's all part of the growth process. And just embrace it, and the only way out of it is through it. We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty. Maya Angelou, wonderful, wonderful author. And that's so true. We don't acknowledge that part. It's always like, okay, it's like a before and after, but you know them before and after. You see before and after weight, before and after fitness. You don't know what the stuff is in the middle that they had to go through in order to get to the end result. So finishing up on our DNA is the A is action. Okay? And this does not mean thinking about your business. This does not mean buying a planner. I'll talk about the planner in a moment. This does not mean being on the lookout for the next big thing to help your business. And I have been guilty of this. It's like, oh my gosh, oh, that looks so great. Let me sign up for this webinar and this webinar and this webinar and this webinar. Y'all, our business is simple. It's not always easy, but it's simple. It's certain things that you do in order to reach what your goal is. Is that hard? Yes, it can be hard, but it's simple. It's nothing complicated. It's not rocket science. All right, so don't be on the lookout thinking, okay, if I just do this, this is what's going to turn my business around. Just stop, keep looking at it. You know what you need to do. You know you need to do income producing activity. And then the actions are the things that move the needle in your business. So if you want to go from 0 to 75, that's what you need to do. There's action. It's just like stepping on an accelerator in your car. You got to step on the accelerator to give the action in order for that needle to move up. A can also stand for alignment. She talked about this. Be aligned with your product, your message, and your mind. And by being aligned with your product, that means being consistent with your product. You know, you can't be a product of the product if you're not taking it. And make sure that your message is in alignment and that your mind is in alignment. Okay? When you're in alignment, people will approach you. People come to you whenever they see that you've got it together with that you have a belief in your product, you have a belief in Plexus as a company, and you have belief in network marketing as a business. Hey, have discipline with your own personal behaviors. Hey, discipline's a word I've been seeing a lot lately, so that tells me I need to do a little bit more discipline, and I will confess that I have not been the best at this. So I need to do that myself. Hey, if you're not in alignment, it affects everything else. Hey, everything else, you start feeling out of whack. Hey, it's just like a car. If you are not in alignment, if your car's not in alignment, it starts to affect everything else. It starts tearing up your tires. It can cause an accident. So you want to make sure that you are in alignment. Okay. And you know what to do. Do those things first. So if you have a tendency to put off your income producing activity till the end of the day, get up there and do it first. Just take those 15, 20 minutes of messaging people, contacting people, and get it done. You will feel so much better. And you'll find out it's really not that difficult. Okay. And model that appropriate DNA for your team. Let them know that you are adding to your team. You're getting customers. Show them that you're doing the same things, because they're going to follow you. It's not what you can tell them. It is what you are doing. That's what's going to motivate your team the most. If they see you adding customers and you adding new team members, that they're going to be like, whoa, I've got to get on the ball. And then it shows them that it can be done. Okay, so you have more in your control than you've been taking in your control. And that's something that she shared with us, and it's true. We have a lot more in our control than we've been giving ourselves credit for or actually doing. All right, so I'm going to do this quick little DNA test because we're running out of time, but I wanted to go ahead and do this. So those of you who are on here, I want you to just to show you how we're all a lot alike, is if you've ever dealt with a weight problem, just raise your hand. Okay? All right. If you've ever dealt with a financial problem, raise your hand. Okay? If you've ever had relationship problems, raise your hand. All right, from those of you that I can see on here, you've all raised your hands. Now, the way Carrie did this in the, and somebody raised their hand electronically. I love it, thank you. So what Carrie did with this in the group was she had people stand up and had us look and see that, now this was not a picture of this, but almost every single person was standing up. And if they were not standing up, they really were not paying attention, because every single one of us has had that. So that's that whole thing that that I was saying, is that that what Alec had shared is that if somebody else has done this, you can do it too. So other people can overcome these things, we can do it too. So we're all dealing with the same DNA. We all have this capability to be able to succeed with Plexus. All right, 90-day rule. You can change anything in 90 days. So what you do today will start showing up in January, and this kind of goes back into October, but it applies today. So you want to, I've seen Eric Worre do this, talk about a massive motivation of income-producing activity, doing like 90-day blitzes. Whatever you do will show up. So you want to go ahead and be planting those seeds now. A lot of people in Plexus and a lot of people in network marketing in general will start to take the month of November and December off, because we start getting busy with holiday stuff. Thanksgiving's coming, Christmas is coming, all the other holidays, and we start getting lazy with that. Well, that's going to show up in January. You don't want to do that. You want to be unlike anybody else. You want to be sharing this. Now, does that mean they'll necessarily buy right now? Not necessarily. Hey, but you've planted a seed and you've built that relationship so that when they're ready to get started in January, you're going to be the one that they come to. So quickly, Plexus for November is offering a custom Plexus planner. And my gosh, guys, this is awesome. Hey, this is really simple to be able to get. So you enroll a combination of 3 new ambassadors with a welcome pack, or 3 new customers with at least 50 PV in their initial order, or any combination. So that could be 2 new ambassadors and 1 new customer, or 2 new customers and 1 new ambassador, whatever it ends up being. So during the month of November, then you will earn this planner. And this custom planner is Sarah Marble, Diamond Ambassador. She was key and instrumental in helping formulate what's going to be in this. Is going to come with a leather cover. It's going to have a section called Famous Last Words, and this is a place, I love the way they put this. This is a place for you to write down where books that you should read. Somebody says, oh, you've got to read this book. Okay, this is where you can write it down so you'll actually remember it to go back to. A bucket list. What are your goals? What are your dreams? Hey, people stop dreaming once we get past childhood. Relive those dreams. Start dreaming big again. Have a place to put that. Has a place to put your 2017 Plexus goals. A mind map, if you've ever done any type of teaching or stuff like that, it's a mind map. It helps you organize what it is that you're thinking, what goals you want to have. A month at a glance with all the Plexus dates plus when to earn them. So it will be marked on there by July 31st. You need to be Emerald in order to go to Hawaii next year. So this is really cool that they'll have that. And then a gratitude section. And that's something that our team is doing, is having a gratitude 30-day challenge. And what's really cool about that is that we are doing this, and there are 2 parts to this, and I want to share this very briefly with you, is writing down and also saying 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for each day. You can do that at the beginning of the day, end of the day, whatever time it is, but doing that, saying those things out loud, speaking them out loud makes such a difference. And then the other thing is no complaining. And that one can be challenging, but no complaining. And, because you start realizing how much you were really complaining about things. And guys, we live in a wonderful country. We live in a wonderful world, despite all the political stuff that's going on right now. Let's just choose not to focus on that negativity. Let's focus on the positive and think about how much we have to be grateful for living here. Plexus is the definitive health and happiness company. This is part of our new branding on this. We are the health and happiness company, and I love that because it's so true. It's the health and happiness. If you could have seen all the people there at Leaders Retreat who were so healthy and happy, it was awesome. Hey, Super Saturday, you want to be there. Super Saturday, registration opens on Thursday, this coming Thursday, so 2 days from now, a day and a half from now. You want to be there. This will sell out quickly. Hey, they sold out before December last year. They will sell out again. So it's usually around $20. We haven't heard for sure what the price is, but you want to be there. Hey, find a city that's close to you and make the trip. It is so, so worth it. And they're going to be talking about the Rank Up Roadmap. So you definitely want to be there for that. All right, as I close out, a successful person is usually an average person who took a chance. Harvey McKay, love his motivational writing. And it's so true. There's nothing, we don't have an MBA in network marketing. We are just ordinary people who decided we wanted to take a chance and we wanted our lives to be better, and we were willing to go through what it took to make them that way. And it's so, so worth it. Hey, with Plexus, it's possible. Just know that for your health, for your happiness, it's possible. So I'm going to stop the share, see if we have any questions. Oh, we had more people pop on. Love it. All right. Okay, any questions, any comments? Is anybody who was at Leaders Retreat that wants to share some of your insights? All right. Okay, so any questions for anybody? Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight so that we can go ahead and get this uploaded. So thank you all for being here. You want to be at Leaders Retreat next year. The contest will start probably June next year. So be on the lookout. Go ahead and get your team growing now so that they can help you get there because it is so worth it, and bringing your team is even more amazing. So thank you for tuning in tonight. Everybody have a great evening, and go Plexus.